Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Engineer Kenneth Ube, but I just wanted to share two key mistakes that people make when they buy real estate, whether in Abuja or any other part of Nigeria. Specifically in Nigeria, I know in some other parts of the world, some things are easier. But in Nigeria, we have a peculiar real estate market, and two key mistakes people make when they buy land. And I think I would actually use Abuja as a case study because that's where I operate from. The number one key mistake people make when they buy land, whether it's site and service estate or just a single individual buying a land, is they do not authenticate title documents. Of course, your neighbor just bought or your brother is the one selling, or it's as if it's a hot cake if you don't buy it. And you know, there's some of those pressure, 50% off, 10% off, and people rush into putting 10 million, 20 million, 30 million without authenticating title documents. See, in other countries they say, what you should check out for real estate is location, location, location. I'm sorry, in Abuja, the location doesn't matter if you have dead title documents. If you have the wrong title documents, location doesn't matter. When somebody tells you, a land is FCDA approved, go and check what that means. Talk to the authorities. Take your time. Go to agents. Never be in a hurry to pay. It's actually better you miss what was like a good deal than you part with your money only to realize that you got dud documents. Of course, like land that have local government allocation, lands that have no allocation papers, or land that have fake allocation papers. I like the way agents work. Do your due diligence. Don't be in a hurry to pay for a land without doing your due diligence. That's the number one mistake people make. Now, the second one is almost as bad. And this happens to people who buy houses. And this is what I would say: not consulting professionals. Now, when I say professionals, I'm referring to a specific class of people. I'm not talking about a house agent. Now, I can tell you one thing for free. The agent makes money when you pay. So they are very interested in you paying. It doesn't matter how the house is. It doesn't matter the state of the house. It doesn't matter what it will cost to put the house back to good use, or whether the house is even useful to you at all. The agent wants you to pay so that he can take his agency and walk away. And so people have no problem paying the agent. And I sometimes wonder, what is the job of the agent? To connect A and B. And almost anybody can be an agent to a landlord who wants to sell his house. But now when I say professionals, I'm talking of certain classes of people: your lawyer, your engineer, your architect, and your surveyor. In this case, your quantity surveyor. They are specifically used for. Most people buy houses. Some buy without checking titles, and some buy without talking to a professional, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect. Now, I'll tell you two quick stories. I went to visit a house somewhere in this town. I don't want to mention the name or the estate, that somebody just bought, and he wanted us to renovate. When we got there, the house was like a corpse. The house was built on a waterway. The foundation was buried inside the ground. It was only rising more than 1 meter up, and then the height overall of the house was just about 3 meters high, both the building and the roof. What? 2.1 meter headroom inside the building. And like, what is this? And when I said to the person, you have to take this building down, it sounded like, it was harsh. But that was the truth. There was no way you could have that house that low, with that terrible height and terrible roof and terrible walls in the waterway. Nobody will ever enjoy living in that house. Even if you wanted to sell, you would not get value for money. But he bought the house before inviting a professional. They always call us to come and say renovate, or why didn't you call us before you paid money? Whether you paid 50, who evaluated the house? I said a quantity surveyor, right? Who evaluated the house and told you, the land and the house was worth 50 million. They might ask you for 60, you negotiated 50, and you paid. Big mistake. I remember visiting another house, and I said to the man, you are going to change this roof. For those who know construction, the roofing sheet was long span aluminum, like 0.35. Who uses 0.35 when you should be thinking of 0.55, even if you want to use long span aluminum? We use 0.35 for maybe temporary perimeter fence in a building. You know that in 3, 4, 5 months you are throwing it away. But that was what the house was roofed with, and it was already leaking in a lot of places. And I said to the man, you're always going to have a roof problem. Of course, the roof is almost flat, cane post is quite low, and then the roof, the lapping, the roofing material, you're going to be doing maintenance again and again. You just have to change it. If we had visited there before he paid for the building, yes, we would have discounted changing the roof from whatever he was paying for the building. It would have occasioned his counter offer to whoever was selling. So two things I just wanted to mention. You are buying a house in Abuja or anywhere else. Two key things you shouldn't forget. Number one, authenticate the title document, whether it's a land or a house. Be sure that the title documents are genuine and legit. It doesn't matter how much you paid for the house. It doesn't matter the location of the house. If your title documents are no good, hey, that's a bad deal and you might struggle. I had a client who couldn't even recover his funds back from the person who sold him land with fake title documents. Then number two, consult a professional. Talk to your lawyer. Let your engineer, your architect, and your QS evaluate the house. And why do people not want to talk to professionals? The fee. If you're investing 20 million, 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, or even more in a building, what is a professional fee for you to pay? If you can pay the agent for linking A to B, why don't you also pay the professionals who will give you an advice that will actually be much more valuable than the agent who just linked you A to B? See, there's value in professional advice. Never discount it. There's value in authenticating your land document. Never be in a hurry. See, wishing you all the best as you go into your real estate acquisitions. Of course, one of the best ways you can invest your money. But so that to avoid stories that touch, two key things you must take while you invest in real estate. Authenticate your land documents, never be in a hurry. And then two, invite professionals to give you professional advice. There's a reason why you seek professional advice. You don't want quack advice, or you don't want to make those decisions that you are not qualified to make. Just the way you see a doctor for professional medical advice. Talk to your lawyer, talk to your engineer, talk to your architect, talk to your QS, talk to professionals in the industry for their professional advice. My name is Kenneth Obebo, and I hope you got some value from this conversation. So if you're interested in real estate around the city of Abuja, real estate and construction, you can hit us up in our DM. Thank you very much.